Good morning.
Good morning.
A little bit more, Nick. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, welcome to Sunday. Yeah, it's right.
This presentation is supported by the Sustainable Civilization Institute, working to build a peaceful and prosperous civilization of freedom for us all.
There's a story told, true story apparently, about a Baptist minister, since this is Sunday, who was in Farmington, Connecticut, which is a small, very rich community next to my hometown in Bristol, Connecticut. And he was looking for the post office. And apparently couldn't find the post office, and he spied this very bright-looking kid. And he said to him, "Sonny, can you tell me where the post office is?" And he said, the kid never paused a moment. He said, "Sure, mister, you go down to the traffic light there, you take a right, you go to the red building, you take a left, the post office is right there, you can't miss it." And he went, "Whoa, this is a bright kid." He said, "Maybe I should try for a convert." So he put on his strong minister voice and he said to the kid, "Sonny, how would you like me to tell you how to get to heaven?" Said the kid never paused an instant. He said, "I don't think so, mister. You don't even know where the post office is." If we're going to create liberty in the world, we've got to find something that actually works, that addresses the original source of the problems that we're dealing with. And I don't think that that's been addressed very much in the libertarian movement. And I want to focus on that. What is the underlying cause of all the difficulty we're having, all of the oppressive structures that have been created by government? What's the source of this? What's the underlying cause of this? And I'm going to propose what the underlying cause is. I've studied with geniuses and crackpots all of my life, trying to figure out which is which and trying to determine what actually works to get us to the post office, to get us to arrive where we want to arrive. And I would put forth this idea. If you oppose somebody's point of view, they're going to defend it to the death, either yours or theirs. So opposing the government's point of view or opposing the banking cartel's point of view simply is not going to work. They will defend it to the death, either yours or theirs. Right? So that's not going to work. What will work? I propose that what will work is bringing them to an ongoing, day-to-day, hour-to-hour, week-to-week, month-to-month awareness that the quality of their life will take a quantum leap when they support the freedom of every man, woman, and child on the planet. That it is in their vested interest, in our vested interest, to support everyone based on the idea that the quality of their life is going to take a quantum leap. The average person in America lives better than the kings of old, right? We have cell phones, we can talk to anybody in the world. We have televisions, we have transportation, we have cars. We moan about the price of gas, but we can put the gas into the car and go anywhere. Where did that freedom come from? That freedom came from individuals that were free to move into the marketplace and present their goods and ideas. Here's the central basic principles. What we need to discover is that the quality of our life is proportional to the quality of everybody else's life. Everyone needs to discover that. Right? That when people do really well, when they make a nice shirt like this and it doesn't have little hanging strings on it, whoa, that's a good shirt and a nice product. I did this with kids in school, bringing them to awareness that the quality of their life was proportional to everybody else's. You go in a grocery store, look at the groceries that you can buy. What does it take to put a can of peas on the shelf? Oh my God, take a think of that. Whoa, the farmers that got to get up in the morning with some stupid rooster that's yelling at them to get up in the morning and hoeing the ground, and what it takes to bring those peas to market, and the truck drivers who are bringing them, and the kids that put them on the shelves, and the tin makers, and the guys in the ore, getting the ore out, and guys in New York designing Jolly Green Giants, you know, right, to market the beets, right? See, we survive as well as all people survive. And what we need is, personally and globally just means each individual person, needs to be brought to an ongoing, day-to-day awareness that when you harm somebody, you harm yourself. When you harm somebody, you harm yourself. When you benefit somebody, you benefit yourself. One of the recent definitions of ethics, which my friend Paul Gibbons, my close friend, got from somebody and shared with me, was very fascinating. He said ethics was benefiting at least one person and harming no one. And when is a person not going to harm someone? They're going to not harm them when they realize that harming them screws up their life, right? Why do people do what they do? They do it because they think it's going to get them what they want. That's the key. We all do what we're going to do because we think it's going to get them what we want, what they want. And we're wrong most of the time. And somebody reminds me of one of Mark Twain's quotes. Mark Twain said that it's not what we don't know, it's what we absolutely know is true that isn't true. Right? Right? So the concept here is very, very simple. How do we bring all of us, including ourselves, to an ongoing basis that when we harm someone, when we criticize them and make them feel bad, we are harming ourselves? When we make them smile and feel good, we are benefiting ourselves. When we support them, we are benefiting ourselves. I had a close friend, Hal Seil. We went to breakfast for 20 years together every Friday to discuss these principles. I called it Breakfast with Hal. I even designed a restaurant called Breakfast with Hal. And we would discuss these things. And one day I was telling him about my immense theme park project, which I'm going to tell you about. And he said, oh, that'd be very difficult to do. Even Walt Disney wasn't able to pull that off. And in a very uncharacteristic way, he started to point to the barriers, right? $17 billion, are you kidding? That sort of thing. And I started to go down. I started to feel, oh, crap. What am I trying to pull off, You're not going to be able to do this. And I started going, and then all of a sudden I went, wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm going down. My dream of creating a utopia, of a paradise for myself and everybody else, is going down the tubes based on this conversation. It was a harmful conversation. And I finally stopped and I looked at him and I said, Hal, are you my friend? And he stopped. And he looked at it. To his credit, he really looked at it. And he said, John, I think you're the best friend I've ever had in my life. Brought tears to my eyes, still does. I said, then a friend never puts barriers in the way of somebody's dream and goal. A friend doesn't do that. A friend supports the dream, no matter how wild, no matter how crazy, no matter how nuts, they support the dream. That's what a friend does. That's what love is. Like the Beatles said, the answer is love. But what do you mean by love? You mean that you're supporting that person, they're supporting that dream, you're supporting the uniqueness of that individual. I had a friend who went to a party years ago. He said he was the only name at the party you wouldn't recognize. They were all superstars. And he met many of them, and he met Phyllis Diller. If you don't know Phyllis Diller, go on YouTube, right? And he said he had a strange feeling after meeting Phyllis Diller. He was off having a drink by himself, and he had the feeling that she was the most beautiful woman at the party. And it didn't make no sense to him because Phyllis was not physically the most beautiful person at the party. In fact, this was before she had any work and, right? So, and he's having he's having the emotional feeling she's the most beautiful, and his logical mind is going, what are you, nuts? Phyllis Diller? And he had to go back to her and tell her this. And he said she was incredibly gracious, as she had been when he first met her, and she said to him, When I am with someone, I attempt to make them the entire universe for the time that I am with them. And he said it made her the most beautiful woman at the party. Right? How do we create personal and global liberty? By truly loving. What does that mean? That means that we don't do anything that harms anybody. We do things that benefit people and ourselves, right? Worrying, that's a harmful act. Oh my God, I might not make what. That's a harmful act. You are harming yourself. That is not loving. We talk about self-love. What is self-love? You don't criticize yourself. That's not loving. You don't worry. That's not loving. You don't hang up in guilt. I was brought up as a Roman Catholic, so the invitations to hang up in guilt were beautifully created, brilliantly put together, there was a PR campaign that, was just marvelous, feel guilty, feel bad. You were born with original sin, you're a piece of crap. And if you're lucky, if you do exactly what we say and follow our structured rules, then you might have a shot, right? Invitation to feel guilty. How did I feel when I felt guilty? I felt like crap. And guess what? When you feel like crap, you don't tend to follow your dreams. You don't tend to be loving to other people. So, how do we get this to the world? That was my question. How do we get this to the world? How do we get the world to realize that the quality of their life is proportional to everybody else's? That what they are doing because they think it will get them what they want. Even Hitler did what he did because he thought it would get him and the nation what he wanted. He was atrocious. It didn't work. That was the key. And what the banking cartel needs to realize is that, yes, they've got beautiful homes and that sort of thing. Do they have love? Do they have joy? Do they have compassion? Do they have magnificence in their lives? Are they experiencing the grandest versions of themselves? Of course they're not. Because you harm somebody else, and to some degree that harm comes back to yourself. How do we bring this to the world? And hence was born, in my wild and crazy imagination, the Wonder Project. What is the Wonder Project? The Wonder Project is creating 3 Disney quality theme parks that take all the principles of liberty and entertain people into them. Entertain them into them. Not preach at them, not educate them, not tell them the way it is, but entertain them into the awareness, the truth, that the quality of their life is proportional to everybody else's life, that when they harm someone, they harm themselves. When they benefit somebody else, they benefit themselves. All these fundamental basic principles. We've got a theme park called Wonder World. It's billed as a living invitation to make life wonderful, coupled to all the know-how to pull it off. All I need is $14 billion. Anybody want to write a check at the end of the event? And we'll do it right away. Right? I have 33 feature films designed that introduce these principles. This is old Doc Fowler's marooned spaceship, a 1,400-year-old libertarian. 1,400 years old, been all over the galaxy, seen it all. You go through the ruins of his ship. As you can see, it's marooned there. You go on a planetary swamp barge and you travel with him through all of his adventures of discovery that the quality of his life was proportional to the quality of everybody's life. That when he harmed somebody, he harmed himself. And that when anybody harmed anybody, they harmed themselves. And when they benefited somebody, they benefited themselves. You go and have an entertainment. You end up in Old Galaxy Village, where you have things like Barney's used flying objects. Guys selling used flying objects, spaceships. Hey, here, this one's got a laser and a phaser. You're in a traffic jam. They're history. You're on your way, right. Love. Atlantis in the water humans. Atlantis in the water humans. A whole land dedicated to love. And how much love and joy and good vibrations, as the Beatles would say, get you where you want to go. The dolphins have their own lake. Humans are not allowed. There is a common lake where you could swim with the dolphins if they choose to come and swim with you. How do you get them to come and swim with you? You go into the Dolphin Telepathy Theater. And in the theater, you learn to put out the good vibrations, the vibrations of love and joy and good feelings, and go, yeah, come on, dolphin, come and swim with these. I love you, sweetheart, I love you, I love you. And are you faking the love, or is it like real love, you know? Well, how do you find out? Well, if it's real love, they're going to come swim with you. And if it's not, you better go back in the Dolphin Telepathy Theater once again and, get the good vibes, because you ain't got enough. Right, right. You got some kind of judgment. Ooh, slimy dolphins, I don't know. You didn't pick that one up, Negative judgment, make the dolphin feel bad. He ain't gonna come swim with you. He thinks I'm slimy, That pick up the vibes, right? That kind of thing, right? Mama's Galaxy Restaurant. There's an area in the park called the Galaxy Swings. Swings. Everybody do a little swinging. Come on, get in there. Yeah, get them good vibes. Right. Galaxy Swings is dedicated to family, fun, music, and a spirit of play. We marry the familiar with the unfamiliar to break down the barriers with people that, that's not familiar to me. I don't know if I love that. Whoa. So what we do is we got the Dixieland Robot Ramblers. They're robots, but they play Dixieland music. Hey? Ooh, I'm familiar with that Dixieland. Well, a little weird, but I can get along with that. See, breaks down the barriers. We got the Alien 4. 4 of the weirdest looking aliens you ever want to see. 4 different planets they come from. They sing traditional 4-part barbershop harmony. Right? Hey, harmony, harmony, harmony. And you go, oh yeah, cool. And you get right in with them. And the weirdity breaks down. We got the Warp Drive Symphony Orchestra. Right? Some of them even come from Earth. We got the Alien Country Singers. And on the lake is Mama's Galaxy Restaurant. At the entrance it says, fine food and good service, a tradition in 7 galaxies for over 1 million years. Right? You enter the restaurant and you are literally sitting among the 7 galaxies in which Mama located her restaurants. Long before it opens, there is a trilogy of films called Mama's Galaxy Restaurant that traces the 1,000,000-year history of the Italian people and those who eventually migrated to Earth and became what we call the Italian nation. And it's all about love. Tony Gianelli, Mama's #1 son, and the whole family have a dedicated motto. What's the motto? Love, family, and good food solve anything. Right? See, we're getting it out there, right? Trilogy of films. I have a trilogy of films called The Magic of the Morians. Everybody go, whoa, give me a little whoa. I'll do it again. The Magic of the Morians. Whoa. See, entertain yourself. Whoa. Get into the flow. Whoa. See, you feel better. Everybody feels better. Whoa. Right? Starts out in a Louisiana swamp at night. 3 beautiful rustic homes are tucked in the branches of a banyan tree. If you know what a banyan tree is, it drops roots and it goes out for acres. Each night, 3 kids, similar to Harry Potter kids, sneak out of the house in the wee hours of the morning. They are gravely concerned with the destructive path that the earth seems to be on. They are joined by 3 magical kids from another reality, Morian kids. At first, they don't know who these kids are. They're just like somebody from the neighborhood, right? But they gradually learn that the Morian kids have the ability to instantly materialize any reality they can imagine. Cool, huh? You imagine it, boom, there it is. Well, not bad. The Earth kids cannot figure out how the Morian kids can do this. How could they have the power to materialize any reality? Because the Earth kids have mastered limitations. We are the masters of limitation. We're really good at screwing things up. We practiced, and we got really good at it. Remember Victor Borge, the great concert pianist, right, and humorist? True story, some woman got out of a cab looking for Carnegie Hall. She's late for a play. She bumped into Victor. She didn't know it was Victor. She says, "Pardon me, sir, can you tell me how to get to Carnegie Hall?" And Victor said, "Practice, practice, practice." Right? How do we get to where we want? Practice, practice, practice. Practice what? Practice love, practice realizing that the quality of our life is proportional to everybody else's, that when we do something that makes another person feel good, that supports their individual uniqueness rather than criticizes them, how do you know? How do you know whether you're supporting them or not? They feel terrific when you support them. If they feel good, you did a good job. If they feel very good, you did a very good job. If they feel fantastic, you did a fantastic job. Very simple. If they feel like crap, not so good. Right? Hey, how do we get this to the world? That's what the Wonder Project is all about. How do we get it to the world? We entertain them into it. The Magic of the Moorians, the 3 kids, 9 books. I'm trying to get J.K. Rowling to write the books.
How you doing with it?
Huh? I'm doing great with it because I refuse to think I'm doing any other way.
He's got a presentation
Right.
that is fantastic.
Okay, yep, fabulous.
It's in her hands.
Yes. We're going to do 9 movies, 9 books. On what? The Mauryan kids can't figure out why the Earth kids can't do what they can do. How come? And the 9 books go through everything, including the New World Order, the government structure, the things we bought into, and fundamentally, the idea is that we should criticize someone, protest what they're doing, war with them. When you war with the powers that be, guess what you got? War. You're perpetuating what you say you don't want. Doesn't work. Love is the answer. Not wishy-washy love, but real love. Love of yourself to the point where you won't criticize yourself, you won't judge yourself, you won't complain. Give up complaining, end of complaining, no more complaining. Why? Complaining is destructive, it makes you contract. Right? Doesn't work. Doesn't work. If you want paradise and you're going to complain, guess what? Complaining doesn't work to get you paradise. Just doesn't work. Very simple, doesn't work. The 3rd trilogy is the Star Wars trilogy. Come on down and see the crawl that we put together. The Star Wars is a trilogy in which the Jedi and the Sith discover war don't work. War didn't get you what you wanted. It just got you more war. Right? The idea is that the Sith and the Jedi explore the nature of the dark side of the Force. Sounds like a neat idea to me. How's it sound to you? Anybody? I got one person that sounds good to. Geez, I hope I get more. There's nothing that messes up a creator like the absence of an appreciative audience. Yeah.
The dark stuff can be served and the light stuff can be served too?
Say it again?
Are they going to make that work together?
Oh, it's going to be one hell of a tangle, man, in and out of the dark side, in and out of the bright side. You know, all of those goodies. What page am I on here? This is my book called An Invitation to Wonderworld. I invite you to buy it. This is an invitation. I think you'll find it's worth far more than the money you paid for it, even though you're going to pay a fair amount for it because I self-published it and it costs a lot. Right? Right? Emerging suddenly from hyperspace. This is episode 7, right? After the first 3 episodes, right? When they destroyed the second Death Star. It continues. Emerging suddenly from hyperspace, we descend into the atmosphere of the planet Coruscant. Racing low across the surface of Galactic City, we approach the towers of the Jedi Temple, landing on a platform reserved for members of the High Council. An elderly Luke Skywalker lands. Right? Keeping pace just behind him, two impossibly beautiful members of the Jedi's sacred feminine core flank him on both sides. The females have been missing, right? The gossamer fabric of their full-length matching outfits offers a stark contrast to the skill that seems to permeate through every fiber of their being. Whoa, cool. Right? We now cut to the interior of the Jedi Temple, where all but one member of the Jedi Council is there discussing, that's a new word, discussing with Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Anakin Skywalker as spirits, the conflict that they have come into, which is greater than anyone they ever encountered before. Master Yoda, be reasonable, one of the council members said. The conflict has escalated through half of the galaxy. In your mind, the conflict exists. For 100 years have I told you this, and still you hear nothing of what I say. That's all good in theory, another member says, but this conflict is real, Master Yoda, very real. Believe me, my friend Anakin, Skywalker says, remember? Gently responds as he taps the hilt of his lightsaber gently on the head of the offending knight. Right? There is no outside reality if there is not first one in here. Yes, yes, Yoda responds in hopeful anticipation. To Anakin you should listen. Return from the dark side he has. Wisdom he has learned. It's no use, Luke says as he strides into the chamber, the missing member of the council. I've been trying to get that through their heads for the last 20 years. Trying, you still are? Yoda says. Learning, doing, you still have not learned? Yes, I know, Luke responds. I learn the lessons every day, and then I fall back into the old way. Focusing on the wrong reality, you all are, Yoda says. As he addresses the council, focus not on this apparency that seems to surround you. Focus on the reality you desire. Focus only on that desire, and gone these conflicts will be. Third Star Wars trilogy. Everybody want to support that happening in the real world? 33 feature films, 3 Disney quality theme parks, one in England called Magic Track, right? With a real Hogwarts Academy of Life magic, where we learn the truth of how to create the liberty that we are seeking to create, how we create the freedom that we are seeking to create individually and globally, how we share. This is the Wonder Project. At times I wonder whether it's really going to happen or not. And that is very stupid of me. I fall back into the old ways, as Yoda would say, focus not on the apparency of the opposition, of the government, of all the things that are wrong, of the screwed up financial system, of the fact that it now costs you $2.20 for a coffee that used to cost a dime. Right? Focus not on the apparency. Focus on the vision, focus on the dream, focus on the accomplishment. See it as already occurring. If none of you have ever watched The Man of La Mancha, please do, with Peter O'Toole, right? the movie version of a man who consciously chose to see life as he wished it to be rather than how it was, right? Who went forth. I am I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha. My destiny calls and I go, and the wild winds of fortune shall carry me onward whithersoever I blow. Guy's nuts, man. Is he crazy? This is the time of the Inquisition when people are being tortured to death if they didn't do what the church said. And he's pretending to be this knight errant in search of the world. They do a play inside the dungeon. He gives a trial to be allowed to keep his manuscript or not. And the prosecutor keeps telling him to face life as it is. Face life as it is. And he's prancing around, I am I, Don Quixote. And he's going, face life as it is. And he stops. Incredible soliloquy. Life as it is, he says. I have lived for over 40 years and I have seen life as it is. Pain, misery, cruelty beyond belief. Moans from bundles of filth in the streets. I have seen my comrades die in battle or more slowly under the lash in Africa. These were men who saw life as it is. But they died despairing, no glory, no brave last words, only their eyes filled with confusion, questioning why. I do not think they were asking why they were dying, but why they had ever lived. Who knows where madness lies? Perhaps to be too practical, to seek treasure where there is only trash. Too much sanity may be madness. And maddest of all, to see life as it is and not as it should be. In the libertarian movement, we fall into the trap of seeing life as it is rather than the way we want it to be. We don't give our energy to what we want. How do we get it to be the way we want it to be? By realizing that the quality of our life at any given moment is proportional to the quality of everybody else's life. That when we support them, we support everybody. Entertaining the world into that, entertaining everyone into the world. Everyone from one end of the corner to the other. We have the internet, we have cell phones, we have the technology, we have the movies, we have the theme parks. All we need to do is to bring all of us to an awareness of the truth every hour of our lives. That when we love, when we support somebody else, the quality of our life increases. When we harm someone else, our life harms. How do we get what we want? What do we want? Everything. I want total health, unlimited wealth, fabulous relationships that are so fabulous, I couldn't conceive of them getting better, and then they get better. Right. And creative fulfillment. I want to see all of this happen. I want to see us use our entertainment media to entertain ourselves into what really works to create the paradise that we want to create. Sounds good? Where am I at time-wise? We're going to look at the structure now. I have 5 minutes. We divide the eternal now moment into increments, and then we paste them against us and create stress like crazy. Dumb. Please, everybody, do this with me. Hey-ya! Do your hands go. Hey-ya! Oh, yeah! Oh, baby. Oh, feeling good, honey. The good vibes. Them good vibes. They say, ooh, and everybody comes up feeling good, and you get a little bit of the paradise that you want, right? I thank you very much for coming here today, for continuously dedicating ourselves to this, wonderfulness. It's a shame that the greatest presentation at Libertopia, has only the greatest people in it. But maybe you can spread the word, right? And we can do it. Thank you very much.